Did you know that you can make a healthy, delicious, and beautiful dinner for your family in under 30 minutes? I'm going to show you how. We're going to start with a tool that I absolutely adore. This is a microwave rice cooker. I usually have multiple things happening on the stove at the time that I'm cooking dinner. So to be able to do one of the side dishes in the microwave frees up range space. So if you are like me, you're doing a couple of different things, and to have to stir and watch different things, it complicates the matter. So the microwave rice cooker is the perfect tool to cut out the extra pan on the stove. So this microwave cooker, I'm going to put 1 cup of jasmine rice. I love jasmine rice. First of all, it smells incredible while it's cooking, but the flavor is just extra special. I find it much better than just plain white rice. And we're going to add 2 cups of water to the micro cooker. While I am preparing the vegetables to saute to put with our salmon tonight, this will be doing its own thing in the microwave. It's about 10 minutes, depending upon the power of your microwave. So you put your rice in, and then you can dice up and do the prep work for the veggie salsa that will go alongside our salmon. The salmon will take about 14 to 16 minutes in an air fryer, depending upon the thickness of your fish. So keep an eye on that. You may have to adjust the time based on how well done you like your fish and how thick the patties, the fillets are. But I'm going to put this in the microwave, and then I'm going to show you a few things that we're going to add to the veggie salsa. We'll start that in a few minutes because you don't want to listen to it. So a couple of things. Shallots. Shallots are something that I used to avoid putting or getting from the grocery because I thought, oh, it's an onion. I'll tell you what, shallots, when a recipe calls for shallot, it means it. The flavor of a shallot is in the onion family, but it's much more mild. The delicate flavor of a shallot is a great enhancement, and it doesn't overpower what's happening. So an onion can definitely overpower. A shallot is just going to be just right for the recipe that calls for it. Just go with it. I promise you'll be glad you did. I buy these shallots in the little box. They breathe nicely. Leave them in a cabinet, just like you do your garlic, someplace cool and dry and dark, and they will last just like an onion for quite some time. And I usually get through the whole box before they would be too soft. Avocados. Avocados have been a mystery to me for a long time, and I finally figured out the magic solution. You know how you need an avocado for tonight, you go to the grocery store, they're all baseballs and you can't use them and you don't know what to do. So the way to avoid that is to always have ripe avocados handy, is keep them in the refrigerator once they are soft. So I buy a bag of the small ones because usually 1 is plenty for just 2 people. If you need more, then use 2. But if you buy the bag of minis, there's usually 6 or 7 in the bag. And just keep an eye on them. If they're too green and hard when you buy them, leave them on the counter for a couple of days. Let them get just to the right softness. You want them to yield slightly to pressure, but you don't want them to be mushy, because once they've gone to mushy, they're brown inside and you don't want them. So they'll just yield to pressure. Take your bag, put it in the refrigerator. That will hold your avocados at the perfect ripeness, and you'll use all of them. I was able to use avocados that had been in the refrigerator for about 3 weeks. They had ripened, and I didn't use the whole bag. We went away for 8 days, I think, came home and thought, wonder if these are gonna be any good. Opened it up, and I was thrilled to see that it was still perfect, and it was good to go. So that's a good tip for you on avocados. This recipe is going to be a veggie salsa. We're going to saute our veggies in the last maybe 2 minutes of the fish cooking in the air fryer. So I will get that together and show you that here in a few moments. A couple of tips on salmon. I like to purchase salmon from Costco. We've found that it's always fresh, and I like the way they slice it into these fillets that are perfect serving sizes. In a package, there may be 8 to 10 fillets, so you're going to need to freeze them if you aren't going to use all of them for a dinner party. So I like to get the quart-sized freezer bags and freeze 2 fillets per package. That way, for just my husband and I can pull this out, or if we're having guests, I can pull out 2 at a time and just allow them to thaw, and they're ready to go. So if you have a piece of heavy cookware like Calphalon or this lovely Hexclad, you can take your frozen meat, set it on that piece of cookware just on your countertop for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, flip it over. Your meat will be thawed in no time because the heat transfer, the conductivity of that cookware is so good. It takes your room temperature and draws it all the way through to the center of the item that's being thawed. So you don't have to leave it out on the counter and worry about its food safety, you know, all day. Just put it on your piece of cookware. It will thaw in a fraction of the time that normally it would take, and so then you can toss it back in the fridge as soon as it's you feel that the center is pliable, and then you don't leave it on the counter and have it, you know, sitting there all day. You don't want that, especially with fish. So here we have these lovely fillets, and on my air fryer rack, I have placed a piece of parchment paper because I may have mentioned before that I hate cleaning. So I like to make sure that I make as little mess as possible that I'm going to have to fight with after I've completed my meal. So we have found that the parchment paper does not affect the end product at all. So we have a skin-on salmon fillet, and I put a piece of parchment down. Not all air fryers are created equally, so make sure that your air fryer allows you to use parchment paper in it, and hopefully it does. And I'm just going to take my salmon fillet, lay them next to each other. I'm gonna take my clean hand that didn't handle the fish and drizzle a little olive oil over the top of each, just a really slight drizzle, and rub that in with my fingers. Okay, and this hand is still clean. I have not touched the raw fish, so I'm gonna just use this, should have opened it first, to shake on just a touch of sea salt. Okay, just a light sprinkling of sea salt, and then we're going to take this and put it in our air fryer. This will air fry for, like I said, 14, 16 minutes, depending upon the thickness of your fillets, so keep an eye. Hopefully your air fryer has a light, or you can pull it out and check it for doneness. I didn't check with the internal temperature of fish to have it off the top of my head, but I will here in a moment. And now we're in the last 2 or so minutes of our fish cooking. It's time to make our veggie salsa. All of the vegetables have been diced while the fish was cooking, and what I have here are those shallots I mentioned, and a red pepper just diced up, a tablespoon or 2 of olive oil on medium high, just to get it hot. As soon as that starts sizzling, we'll move this around with our tongs. We're going to add in, once the more firm vegetables are softened, we're going to add in a half can of corn, a half can of black beans that I have drained and set aside. I did a half can because I'm cooking for 2 tonight. If you make this full recipe, you'll use a whole can and a whole can. But I often make this recipe just for my husband and I, so I will take the other half a can of each, put it in the same Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer, so next time I want to make this dish, I already have that half ready. So, all right, we have our sizzle going here with red pepper and shallot. Let that brown and get soft. After the corn and black beans, we're going to, right at the end, add our diced avocado and some diced grape tomatoes, not diced, just cut in half. And you don't want to overheat these, so I will actually Saute all of the vegetables, then the corn and black beans, get those nice and hot. Turn the heat off. Throw in the tomato avocado mixture, squeeze half of a lemon over it, season it with salt, and add cilantro. So you'll see me do that. I won't necessarily say that's what I'm doing at the time, but that is the process. Again, you don't want to overheat the avocado and tomato. It really affects the texture, and I think it's less enjoyable. So you want those to go in after it comes off the heat. Smells fantastic. Again, I wish we had a scratch and sniff option on a video. The colors are vibrant, and this dish is, there's something to love about every single portion, and it's even better than the sum of its parts. So once we plate up the jasmine rice, we'll plate our fish and then put a generous scoop or 2 or 3 of the veggie salsa directly over the fish, and you can put it in your rice if you'd like. I love a little butter in mine, so you do what you like with your rice. And okay, that is, you can't see it, maybe you can. We have some nice browning going on with the shallot and the peppers. So now I'm going to add in the aforementioned corn and black beans. Give that just a little stir. We're going to get it incorporated and warmed up, keep there at room temperature. I have my lemon. I'm going to go ahead and just squeeze it. I like to put it over the avocado. It keeps it from browning. So just squeeze that on in. Set that aside, and it'll be ready when we add it to this once the corn and black beans. Once we start seeing just a little color coming up on our corn, we know that we have heated it. We've married all those flavors together. And just add salt. Then turn off our heat. Add in these beautiful tomatoes and avocado. Don't over mix, you'll mash up the avocado and then you have guacamole, and that's not what we're aiming for. And there's our cilantro. Oh, just beautiful. And we're gonna mix this, toss it gently together, break up the bits of avocado with your tongs, just enough so that they're not all stuck together. And that, my friends, is that. So I'll let you see how beautiful the colors are in that. And then we're gonna plate that up. The rice is completely finished. It has been sitting in the microwave for, I don't know, a few minutes. As long as you don't open it, let the steam out, it's going to stay hot in here for over an hour. Here it is, the beautiful salmon with veggie salsa and jasmine rice. I hope you enjoy it as much as we will here in just a few minutes. And remember, thank you.